Hi, everyone. I'm Jan with the Prince George County Memorial Library System. Thank you for joining us for another Children's Readers Advisory. My first book is called Things You Can't Say by Jen Bishop. Again, that's Things You Can't Say by Jen Bishop. When Mom's old friend, the mysterious Phil, shows up unexpectedly, Drew would rather think Phil is his father than admit his father committed suicide 3 years before. His classmates know what happened, but the new girl, Audrey, doesn't know yet. When Drew's best friend Philippe seems to pull away, Audrey invades Drew's personal space at the library. When Audrey finds out the truth about Drew, she is determined to help him find out the truth about his father. This book is not just for those who have experience with suicide, and I know the subject can sound depressing, yet Kirkus Magazine Review states the story is a believable, character-driven exploration of the long-lasting shadow of suicide cast. At the end of the book, you will find resources that may help you or someone that you know. And again, this is Things You Cannot Say by Jen Bishop. My next book is called Wondrous Rex by Patricia McLaughlin. Again, Wondrous Rex by Patricia McLaughlin. Ms. McLaughlin has won a Newbery Medal Award, which is given to the author of the most distinguished contribution to American literature for children from the previous year. She also is a board member of the National Children's Book and Literature Alliance. Gracie's Aunt Lily writes novels and has a writer's block to the point she puts an ad in the paper saying, Writer of books needs an assistant, a coach, a helper for inspiration and some magic. When a magician shows up with his Labrador Retriever, Rex, who needs to do something different, Gracie and Aunt Lily get the magic they're looking for. Don't tell anybody, but Rex can type and gives the most inspirational messages. When Aunt Lily, who goes to a writer's group, hears her latest story, they absolutely love it. This book also has larger print for those who are just starting reading chapter books. And again, this is Wondrous Rex by Patricia McLaughlin. Okay, my next book is called Aggie Morton, Mystery Queen, The Body Under the Piano by Martha Jocelyn. Again, this is called Aggie Morton, Mystery Queen, The Body Under the Piano by Martha Jocelyn. This book is inspired by young Agatha Christie, who wrote many adult mystery books. If you like Lemony Snicket's, you'll surely like this book. Lonely Aggie, on account of her shyness, hasn't much to do since the death of her beloved father. That's until she meets 12-year-old Belgian immigrant Hector Perot. That's when they find the body under the piano, and the suspect list grows and grows and grows. As you read the story, you'll find out if Aggie and Hector can figure out who's done it and who hasn't done it before anything worse can happen. Kirkus Magazine Review states Aggie makes a remarkable, cool, and likable detective. And again, this is Aggie Morton, Mystery Queen, The Body Under the Piano by Martha Jocelyn. Okay. My next book is called Wink by Rob Harrell. Again, this is Wink by Rob Harrell. When diagnosed with a rare eye tumor, I thought for sure Ross, the main character, would totally lose his eyesight or probably die. But I'm glad to report that neither happened. Yes, he does go through many challenges, like losing the sight in the affected eye, losing his hair, and learns how to deal with rude memes originating from his secret love. The New York Times book review says Harold's genius is making all of it authentic for a seventh grader, a teenager who, like countless others, just wants to be normal. Mr. Harold's own experience with eye cancer inspired this novel. So please read how Ross overcomes his challenges and even learns to play the guitar so he can appear in the talent show at his school. And again, this is called Wink by Rob Harold. Okay, my next book is called Me and Banksy by Tanya Lloyd Kai. Again, Me and Banksy by Tanya Lloyd Kai. And before I start talking about the book, I want to say who Banksy is. He is an anonymous England-based street artist, a political activist, and film director, active since the 1990s. So what does Banksy have to do with this story? Well, the principal wants cameras all over the school for security reasons. Well, someone has hacked into the school's computer and starts posting some of the videos, such as someone picking her nose, another person changing her shirt, and editing a video to look like a boy and girl like each other. Dominica, Holden, and Sanivi are determined to find out who has access to the video and posting them. Inspired by Banksy, the three start an art-based student campaign against cameras in the in the classroom. And again, this is called Me and Banksy by Tanya Lloyd Kai. And if you like Mary Downing Horn, this is another one of her newest books, or her newest book. It's called The Puppets, Payback, and Other Chilling Tales. Again, it's called The Puppets, Payback, and Other Chilling Tales. And Miss Horn, who has won many awards for her children's books, she used to work for Prince George's County Memorial Library System as a children's librarian at our Bowie branch before she moved on to writing full-time. And if you like scary stories, this book is for you. Also, this novel has short stories, including instead of one long story, which means that obviously you can start anywhere in the book, like start in the middle and then go to the end and move on from there. And I want to give you a short sample from the story Trouble Afoot. Always behind me, I hear a slithering sound, yet I do not look back. Clouds over the moon, the wind rises, the rain begins. My nose burns with the stench of rotten fish. My skin is clammy. Oh, it would be better to be mad than to know as I do what follows me. So, if that catches your attention, then you're going to want to read The Puppets, Payback, and Other Chilling Stories. Okay, now my next book is called The Gloom Town by Ronald L. Smith. Again, Gloom Town by Ronald L. Smith. And the author, Mr. Smith, lives really close to here. He lives in Baltimore, and he's won the Coretta Scott King John Steptoe New Talent Award. 12-year-old Rory realizes he must find a job to help his mother pay the rent. So he applies for a job at a spooky old mansion in his gloomy seaside town, only to find out the owner, Lord Foxglove, is odd, unpleasant, and trying to steal the town people's shadows. Rory and his friend Isabella must stop at nothing to discover the why and hopefully defeat Lord Foxglove and his cohorts. Will Rory and Isabel have enough time to accomplish their mission and restore their town back to its former bright days? Join the two friends on their journey in this delightful, creepy novel filled with magic and seafaring mythology. The Summer We Found the Baby by Amy Hest. Again, The Summer We Found the Baby by Amy Hest. Set during World War II, this historical novel relays the events of one extraordinary summer from three engaging points of view. 11-year-old Julie and her 6-year-old sister find a baby on the steps of their new children's library. Not sure what to do, they decide to hide the baby until they can figure out a plan. While on an errand for his brother who's fighting overseas, 12-year-old Bruno sees the girls and thinks to himself, holy everything, Julie Sweet is a kidnapper. Turns out the truth is much more complicated than the children know. Told in 3 distinct voices, each with a different take on events, the novel captures the moment and emotions of a life-changing summer, a summer in which a baby gives a family hope and brings a community together. And this is called The Summer We Found the Baby. Okay. My next book is called The Barren Grounds. I'm sorry, this has a lot of glare. It's called The Barren Grounds by David A. Robinson. Mr. Robinson is from the Norway House Cree Nation in Canada, and the two main characters, Morgan and Eli, are Indigenous themselves. In this fantasy novel, Morgan and Eli, unrelated to each other, have been shuffled from one foster home to another. Both feel unwanted, especially because they haven't been placed with an indigenous family. They end up together in the home of James and Amy, a white couple. Through Ellie's drawings, both enter into a world full of indigenous talking animals. Both must help find the human who stole the green time, meaning spring and summer, and left the village in white time, meaning winter. As you read the story, you'll find out if they can survive the cold and danger that lies ahead of them and restore the balance back to the world. And again, this is called The Barren Grounds by David A. Robinson. Okay, so now I am going to share my screen. And then let's do this. And let's go back to here, there, share. Okay, this book is Isaiah Dunn is My Hero by Kelly J. Baptist. This is an ebook. That's why I'm able to share the story this way. But you also can find it in a book, regular book form. And again, this is called Isaiah Dunn is My Hero by Kelly J. Baptist. This is Miss Baptist's full novel, although she wrote a short story called The Beans and Rice Chronicles of Isaiah Dunn, which won the inaugural We Need Diverse Books contest, and it is included in Flying Lessons and Other Stories. And Prince George County Memorial Library System does own this book. The Hornback magazine says, in this moving tale of life, loss, and the love of words, Isaiah learns that perseverance and vulnerability are real superpowers, and that family and community are the real wind beneath a superhero's cape. Since Isaiah's father death his family has suffered. His mother struggles with alcohol addiction, leading to homelessness. Isaiah loves to write poetry, yet since his dad's death, Isaiah can't put the words that are swirling in his head down on the page. Isaiah gets a lot of bullying from classmates, gets in trouble at school, and seems to be losing his best friend, Sneaky. In the end, can Isaiah start writing again, and can his mother get the treatment she needs for her addiction? Find out by reading this wonderful story. Okay, now I'm going to go to another ebook. Let's see. And then, okay, this book is entitled Stand Up. Let me move this a little. Stand Up, Yumi Chung by Jessica Kim. Again, Stand Up, Yumi Chang by Jessica Kim. And again, we have this in a regular book, even though I'm showing this to you as an ebook. Yumi, the shy girl with no friends, likes watching her favorite YouTube comedians. Her strict Korean immigrant parents only care about her excellent grades so they can boast about Yumi's accomplishment. They put her in summer school, and then Yumi must go to the library to study. Well, a funny thing happens on the way to the library. As Yumi works on finding her true self, she passes by a new comedy club. Through mistaken identity, Yumi finds herself in the summer camp with her favorite comedian. The problem? How can Yumi tell these students who she really is, and how can she tell her parents she wants to be a comedian? Please read this funny story about family and the courage to be yourself. You won't be disappointed. And then let me go to my last book. Again, this is an ebook, but you can find the book, the regular book, in our library. And this is called Not Your All-American Girl by Madeline Rosenberg and Wendy Wan Long Shang. The book takes place in 1984, and it isn't an historical fiction novel, but it is about stereotyping people because of how they look. Lauren, who is half Chinese and half Jewish, wants a lead play in the play at her middle school, but the director, Mrs. Tyndall, picks her best friend Tara. Why? Miss Tyndall wants somebody who looks like the all-American girl. When Lauren says she's also half Japanese, the director looks at her and says, "Are you sure that you're half Jewish?" So from amongst the ensemble, Lauren tries to support her best friend, but when she can't bring herself to sing anymore, her spot in the play and her friendship are in jeopardy. With the help of a button-making business, the music of Patsy Cline and her two bickering grandmas help Lauren find her voice again. And I like the fact that the authors, Miss Rosenberg is Jewish and Miss Shang is Chinese. So anyway, and I know you will enjoy all these books that I was talking about, because I always read them before I talk about them, and they are all new books, new fiction in the children's department, and there are a lot of other good new books, and also the old books at all our branches. So please find the books. I know you like them. And then thank you again for joining us for another Children's Readers Advisory. Thank you.